Lately, have you been spending most of your time just lying in bed, scrolling through your phone, but not actually wanting to do anything? Deadlines, unread messages, everything piling up, but your body feels so heavy, like the last drop of energy has already been drained out of you. And then you slap yourself with that familiar label. I'm just lazy. Maybe other people have said it too, so many times that you've started to believe it. Yet deep down, you never wanted to be this way. And you can't figure out why the simplest everyday tasks now feel like moving through quicksand. Hold on for a second. Laziness and burnout can look almost identical from the outside. Both involve slowing down, avoiding things, and running on empty. But they are completely different things at their core. Burnout is a state of total emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that comes from carrying too much stress for too long. Today, we're going through 5 clear signs that you might not be lazy at all. You might just be burned out. And most importantly, by the end of this video, you'll learn how to break out of this energy trap. Sign 1. Disconnection. Living on autopilot. Try to think back on your yesterday. Did you wake up, brush your teeth, go to work, eat, and go to sleep like a pre-programmed routine? You went through all the motions on autopilot, like your brain just switched to cruise control. Your body was there, but your mind was somewhere else entirely. In psychology, this experience is connected to a concept called depersonalization. When you've been under stress for too long, your brain automatically triggers a defense mechanism to shield you from emotional pain. The way it does that is by disconnecting you from reality. You start to feel like a stranger in your own life. You watch things happen around you, like you're in a movie where you're the main character, but you have no control over the story. A lazy person actually enjoys their downtime. They are fully aware of and perfectly happy with doing nothing. But with burnout, that emptiness doesn't feel good. It feels like helplessness, distance, and emotional numbness. You're not lazy. Your emotional system has simply tripped its own circuit breaker to keep from overloading. Sign 2. Sudden loss of drive and passion. The most fundamental difference between laziness and burnout comes down to timing. Laziness is a personality trait, and personality traits tend to stay consistent. Someone who is naturally lazy will always find ways to avoid work. But think about yourself. Were you once someone who was really disciplined? Maybe you were a strong student, a standout employee, someone who stayed up late and woke up early chasing a project. If you used to be a high-achieving, self-driven person, but have recently become indifferent, unmotivated, and completely drained of willpower, that is one of the clearest warning signs of burnout. And it doesn't stop at work. Things that once excited you, painting, playing an instrument, going to the gym, or even your favorite video game, now feel like just another obligation. Psychology calls this anhedonia, the loss of the ability to feel pleasure. The dopamine reward system in your brain has essentially been worn down to nothing. You didn't suddenly become lazy. You simply ran too fast for too long without ever letting yourself stop and recover. Now your motivation tank is completely empty. Sign 3. Your patience is gone. A lazy person tends to be pretty easygoing and relaxed. They rarely let their environment bother them because they simply do not put a lot of pressure or expectation on themselves. But with burnout, that calmness disappears completely. Take a look at yourself lately. Do you find yourself getting irritated by a notification sound, a web page that takes a few extra seconds to load, or someone talking a little too loudly nearby? You're not trying to make a big deal of it, but these tiny things make you feel deeply unsettled and on edge. From a neuroscience perspective, this irritability has a very clear origin. When you are under prolonged stress, the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, gets stuck in a constant state of high alert. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking and emotional regulation, becomes weakened from being pushed past its limits for so long. Put simply, your nervous system is overloaded. Once it hits maximum capacity, even a loud noise or a sudden incoming message gets flagged by the brain as a new threat. You have not turned into a bad or difficult person. This extreme sensitivity is simply your body's alarm going off, telling you that your brain has no more room left to process even one more small annoyance. Sign 4. Neglecting yourself. When burnout goes on long enough, your brain shifts into what's called survival mode. It starts rationing energy by cutting back on anything it considers non-essential to keeping you alive. And the first casualty is self-care. You might start noticing your daily habits shifting in the wrong direction. You stay up very late, but lie awake unable to sleep. Or the opposite. You sleep way too much but never feel rested. You skip meals or eat a lot of sugar and fast food because the reward system is depleted and the brain reaches for the fastest, most instant hits of dopamine it can find. You stop caring about how you look, skip your skincare routine, and showering starts to feel like it requires more energy than you have. You begin to pull back, cancel plans, and withdraw from the people around you. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when the physical and biological foundation is destabilized, the entire psychological structure above it comes crashing down. A lazy person still knows how to make themselves comfortable, but someone who is burned out is slowly tearing down their own physical health. Sign 5. Holding it together while falling apart. At its core, laziness is a state of relaxation and energy conservation. Someone who is being lazy is generally pretty comfortable with the fact that they are not doing anything. They enjoy that ease and do not feel the need to prove otherwise to anyone. But when you are burned out, the story plays out very differently. Instead of allowing yourself to rest, you spend whatever little energy you have left putting on a front and hiding how exhausted you are. When your boss, coworkers, or family ask how you are doing, your automatic answer is always, "I'm fine, everything is under control," or "I've got it."
In psychology, this is called masking, and it is commonly seen in people who experience what is known as high-functioning burnout. You are afraid to stop or ask for help because you fear being seen as weak or irresponsible, or you worry about letting people down. A lazy person can easily say no to things in order to rest, but you are locking yourself inside the pressure of maintaining a perfect image, quietly absorbing more and more responsibility until you completely collapse from the inside. You can use that mask to fool the whole world, but you cannot fool your own nervous system. Continuously denying your exhaustion will only send you sliding further down a slope with no brakes. So right now, what you need to understand is where you actually stand on the burnout scale. Psychologist Herbert Freudenberger, the pioneer of burnout research, found that burnout does not happen overnight. It is a gradual erosion that unfolds across 5 stages: the honeymoon phase, the onset of stress, chronic stress, full burnout, and finally, chronic burnout, where total exhaustion becomes your default state and the risk of depression and anxiety becomes very high. And if you are watching this video right now and recognizing 3 to 5 of the signs we just talked about, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and listen closely to this. What you are going through is absolutely not your fault. We live in a society that constantly glorifies being busy. It teaches us how to work faster, be more productive, and make more money. From the time we were kids, we were programmed to believe that a person's worth is measured by what they achieve. But not one person, not one classroom, ever taught us how to recognize our own limit. Nobody taught us how to say, "I'm tired," without feeling guilty about it. You are not lazy. Your nervous system and your body are simply responding in a completely natural and accurate way to the enormous amount of pressure you have been piling onto them for far too long. You have been doing an incredible job. This is not the time to be hard on yourself. This is the time to reset and rebuild. Here are 7 science-backed, straightforward steps to gradually take back control of your life. Step 1. Reframe the mindset. Drop the words lazy and failure from your vocabulary right now. Look at where you are with clear, objective eyes. I have reached the current limit of what I can handle. Hitting a limit is not the end of the road. It is actually a powerful biological signal. Treat it as useful data, not a verdict against you. Step 2. The brain dump. Overwhelm often comes from trying to hold too many things in your head at once. Turn off all your devices, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and write down everything running through your mind. Whether it's something big, like finishing a project, or something small, like buying fabric softener. When you physically transfer those thoughts from your nervous system onto paper, the amygdala gets immediate relief. Step 3. The not-to-do list. Look at the list you just wrote. Somewhere between 20 and 40% of those tasks are either pointless, trivial, or not creating any real value. Cross them out. Ask yourself, if I don't do this, will anyone actually be seriously affected? If the answer is no, it gets crossed off. Step 4. Prioritize and ask for help. For the tasks that genuinely have to get done, sort them into 2 groups. Anything you can finish in 5 to 10 minutes, do it right now. Completing a small task creates a small release of dopamine. Anything that is too much to handle alone, do not try to carry it all yourself. Admitting you are overloaded and asking for support is not a sign of weakness. It is what a responsible professional does. Step 5. Get disciplined about saying no. One of the biggest reasons people burn out is because they feel obligated to say yes to everything. When someone adds more to your plate while you are already at capacity, use this neutral communication approach. I really want to help with this. Right now, though, I need to stay focused on Project A and Project B to hit the deadlines. If I take this on too, the quality of all 3 will suffer. Can we figure out together which one should take priority? Step 6. Celebrate micro wins. When you are burned out, your brain tends to fall into negativity bias. It only sees everything you have not done yet. At the end of each day, instead of criticizing yourself for what is still unfinished, write down 3 things you actually completed, no matter how small. Acknowledging these wins starts to rewire your brain's reward system. Step 7. Protect your recovery time. You cannot drive a car non-stop without stopping to fill up the tank. No matter how busy you are, force yourself to carve out 15 to 30 minutes every single day to fully disconnect from work. No emails, no messages. Use that time to take a walk, listen to a song, read a few pages of a book, or simply sit somewhere quiet and breathe. That is not laziness or wasted time. That is the mandatory refuel your brain needs. Recovering from burnout is never a straight line, and it definitely does not happen overnight. It takes patience, genuine compassion toward yourself, and the courage to let go of pressures that were never really yours to carry in the first place. Stop forcing an already depleted body to run a marathon. Give yourself permission to take it one small step at a time. You are not lazy. You just need some rest.